What's up, everybody? Bill with Honest Open Permaculture, Hop Farm, and we are going to be building a tomato trellis today. Let me show you how I'm doing it. All right, so we're back in the Back to Eden garden, covered in wood chips, covered in deep mulch, and as you can tell behind me, I've got a 40-foot row marked off, and we're going to be planting all different types of tomatoes in this 40-foot row. But before we plant them, we need something to trellis the tomatoes up. Trellis and tomatoes are pretty important. If you just let them run around the ground, all your rodents and your birds and everything's gonna be, it's just easier for them to get if they're running along the ground. They rot easier on the ground. Just the best way to do your tomatoes to trellis them up. We are not going to use the typical tomato trellises, the round baskets. Actually, I got a couple of them over here that these little things right here. We're not going to use them on this row. I will use these for a few tomatoes, but what we're going to be using is T-posts and handy panels, aka shorter hog panels. I'll show you here. They're laying on the ground. These are 8-foot, called handy panels, pretty much like a hog panel, just shorter. The reason I got the 8-foot ones is because I have a 6-foot bed in my truck and there's no way I could fit the 16-foot ones in the bed. So I had to get the 8-foot ones and just get a couple more. The idea behind it is, I've got some of the T-posts already laid out. We're going to put T-post in the ground and attach that handy panel to the T-post a little bit off the ground so we can get underneath to weed it. And then we're going to run these tomatoes, weave the tomatoes in and out of the handy panels. So the first step would be putting the T-post in the ground. So let's do that. Put a T-post right in the middle of the bed. Let's pound this thing in. Alright, that's one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the handy panel up here to give me a good measurement so I don't have to measure the handy panel and get everything right. I'm just going to lay the handy panel up here, zip tie it, zip tie the handy panel to the T-post, and then put my next post in. So let's grab a panel. Oh, I'm going to go grab my zip ties. Zip ties. So like I said, I'm going to pick this up a little bit. I want this handy panel off the ground so I can get under it and weed under it easier. It's right on the ground. I've made that mistake before. I learned off my grapes, the fence that I put for the grapes, I just put it right on the ground. Now it's freaking impossible to weed around. So I'm going to learn. So we're going to pick this up, 6 inches or so off the ground, and we'll zip tie it. Zip tie it on. I'm going to do a few zip ties on there, make sure this thing stays up, because we're planning on planting a lot of tomatoes in here. So there's going to be a lot of weight hanging on this thing. Alright, we got our zip ties attached. Now let's come down here and do one more. Pound that post in. Make sure in the middle of the bed again. Right chuck. We're in. Now it's time to zip tie it down. Take it off the ground about 6 inches or so. There we go. Could have centered it a little better. It's alright, let's move on to the next one. It doesn't have to be perfect. Tomatoes aren't going to care. All right, y'all. Let's walk you down the fence line and show you what it looks like. Talk a little bit about it. But as you can tell, there's a gap underneath, about 6-inch gap, so I can get in there and I can weed underneath it. Anything that's here I can weed and it won't climb up here. Also, what's great about this is that the tomatoes, as they're growing, I can weave them in and out, all the way to the top. There's also another good little, I guess, tip about trellising like this, is that the side we're standing on, we can plant tomatoes all along this side. And then if we walk around to the other side, it's like a whole nother bed on this side. So then we can plant another row of tomatoes all along this side. So you get almost the, you know, the double amount of space with the same trellis. So we got a few more to put up. I'm going to finish up that gap and we'll be done. Well, y'all, I underestimated how much fencing I'm gonna need. I had some extra pieces of some hog panels that I had here already, so I didn't buy as much as I was gonna need because I thought I had enough pieces here to be able to finish it off, but we don't. So what we're gonna do, I could go buy some more fencing and finish it off. But this way we can see the difference between growing in a typical tomato cage or growing in your own homemade trellis. All right, 40 feet of tomato beds is ready to be planted. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Anyone has ever used a tomato trellis like this before? Let me know. I have seen people on YouTube build them like this before, and I thought a really cool thing was I could be on one side harvesting tomatoes, and say there's tomatoes on the other side, I can still reach my hand through to get tomatoes. This can also be used for cucumbers, gourds, any type of running, anything that runs or needs to be trellised up. You could do this same method with it to trellis it up. So I just want to say thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and share this with your friends. Maybe they're looking for a way to trellis their tomatoes. This is easy. This is great. You don't have to worry about those stupid tomato cages. Thanks, y'all. On this clip, look at all these tomatoes we're going to be planting in that area we just fixed up. Let me show you what we got, what different types we have here. You see them yet? I'm asking you like you're going to be able to answer me. I guess you could. A little late though, right? Okay. So we have in here some heirloom Cherokee purple. I talked about these before. These are some of the most delicious tomatoes you will ever wrap your lips around. So we got the Cherokee purples. We got some early girls. Here's another one. Some celebrity. There's some big old red ones. Actually, I think that's all we have. Yep, celebrity, early girls, and Cherokee purples. So if you made it to the end of this video, thanks for watching. You got the bonus clip, see what we're planting on the next tomato video.